What's up, world? It's your girl, Ebonée, aka the Princess of New York, and I am back with another interview. Now, today I'm sitting down with a Grammy Award winning recording engineer. Stick around. Welcome back. I've got my girl Yanni with me. Say what's up to the world, Yanni.
What up, what up, what up?
Alright, so boom. Let's start from the beginning. Tell my friends at home a little bit about who you are, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, my name's Ayanna Depas, aka Yanni, and I am a Grammy Award winning recording engineer.
Take a snap!
I've been doing music for probably about 8 years now. Maybe a little bit more, but like officially, probably professionally for 8 years.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my life.
Alright. That's awesome. Like, how did you end up getting into music? Like, what was it about music that you loved that brought you into it?
Well, I don't know. I always loved it since I was a kid, but I never played like an instrument, or I wasn't really the best at writing, even though it's another story. I did try that for a little bit. But what got me into recording engineer was I used to manage an artist who was my cousin, and whatever he needed, I was just there to provide it for him. And it got to the point where, we were in college, couldn't really afford studio time like that, and plus we didn't really like the sound that we were getting from some places, and then also their turnaround time was slow. So that kind of is what inspired me to say, hey, all right, I'm going to go learn how to do this. But even with that, I still wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not, because I had no skill set. And prior to working with him, I didn't even know what a recording engineer was. I didn't know that was a job. And what happened was I was in school. I was going to go for occupational therapy assistant. And I went to orientation. I took all the prereqs. I went to orientation. Sat in orientation, thought to myself, I don't want to be there. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to push through, do it. And then the lady who did the orientation started off by saying, if you're the type of person that empathize with people's problems, this isn't the job for you. And I'm like, man, that can't be a bad thing. It's the health field. It can't be bad to relate to your patients or whatever.
No, but she'll get sucked into it too deep.
Right, but then she just starts saying all these other things, and then I got to the point where I realized, like, oh, this is a sign. This got to be a sign.
She said, oh!
Because it was just too, the way it happened, I just was thinking, like, hey, I don't want to do this. Okay. And then after that, she comes out saying that, and then I'm like, nah, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was like, hey, this is a sign, because you kept throwing more things at me. And eventually, the rest of the orientation, I just started writing out my plans. Like, I said, hey, you know what? What do you want to do? And I said music. And I knew that I didn't have any skill sets in that particular career path, but I was like, you know what? I can learn.
Right.
And I gave myself, I was about 20. I gave myself 10 years to figure it out. And I wrote a list of things of what success would have been for me, or little landmarks of success during that path. And I gave myself till I was 30, maybe 33 the latest. And fortunately, I was able to do all that stuff by 29. So,
hey.
So I'm still doing music.
That is what's up. So for the people at home, tell us the difference between a recording engineer and a producer.
Okay, so I guess to put it simply, a recording engineer is literally doing all of the recording.
So they're the ones that push record.
Yeah, they're record. Yeah, push record. So they're capturing sound, and they're making sure nothing's distorted, audio's clean. There's nothing like compromising your audio, all that stuff. And they're helping you build a vision, or like a blueprint of whatever is in the producer's and the artist's head. Also, the producer is more so creating the music.
Okay.
So they may be more than one person, or it could be just one person, but they're like drums, if there's piano, just the musicality of the song.
Right.
And sometimes some people go a step further and they're producing the record, and they may even have ideas for melodies and for the artist itself and lyrical content. It depends on who you're working with. Some people are really nice at it and they they do it all, or they help out with all of it. Also, sometimes lines can blur. That's why I feel like people confuse the two.
Yeah.
Because as you're recording, you're probably helping with the mixing and stuff like that, which is also another job: mixing engineer, recording engineer. Sometimes that's the same person, but you're probably adding drops or enhancing the producer sound, maybe doing effects to the production that help transition into other parts of the song. So sometimes lines blur, and then also the recording engineer is probably helping vocal produce the artist singing. So yeah, that's where the lines blur. But
Okay.
for the most part, recording engineer records, producer makes the music.
Okay. And there you have it. The Grammy that you won was for being a recording engineer on H.E.R.'s album.
Yes.
How did you get in touch with her?
Well, crazy story. I actually came across her when I was younger.
Okay.
Just videos of her singing. She had a very mature voice for a kid, and I was super impressed. I was probably like 18 at the time,
Okay.
even before
You
I
said
was
younger. I'm like, well, y'all went to grade school?
Oh,
like,
no. But this is how long
Yeah.
I've known about who she was, and then all of a sudden, fast forward. So that was probably about 2008, maybe. Fast forward to 2011, I started an internship at Quad Recording Studios in
Okay.
NYC, and she came in to do a 3-day lockout. And I was like so excited, and nobody at the studio understood why. They were like, "Why are you so excited about this little girl?" She was probably like 13 or 14 at the time.
Wow.
Maybe 13. And I'm looking, I'm like, "Yo, you don't know who that is?" And I just started pulling up videos of her, showing them who she was. And then by the end of the 3 days, they were like super excited too. And they were like, "Look, I got a picture with her." And I'm like, "Oh, whatever, dude." And so yeah, that's the first time I met her, and I didn't know anything was gonna come of that. But I was just happy that she had something going on, in terms of
like music.
yeah.
And
I was just happy that someone was deciding to invest in her, because I just wanted, I wanted that for her since I first saw it. And then all of a sudden, I left my internship. A couple of months later, maybe probably like 4 months later, I started interning at another studio, and it was called MBK Entertainment. Well, the studio is called Oz Studios, but it was owned by MBK Entertainment, which was actually her management company, and I didn't know that at the time when I walked in, and then I saw they had like pictures of different artists that was on their roster, and then I saw her there, and I was just like, oh wow, this is crazy, you know? So that's how I ended up working with her, interning at a studio her management company owned. So
Okay. How many tracks did you do on that album?
2. I recorded 2 tracks on the album. I did a lot of other work as an assistant. So I was assistant engineer probably on like 11 others or something, but I was able to actually record 2 on that project.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's real dope. Where were you when you got the news that you had just won a Grammy?
I was actually, dang, I hope no one really I hope I mentioned I was actually at the award show during the Grammys, but I left early. I'm not gonna say why I did, but I'm the type of person where I was in a good headspace at the time, and so many people that you could have possibly came across. So I was just like, you know what, let me just go get my head right and come back, because first impressions are everything.
Yeah.
So technically I was in an Uber. When I got it was like, congratulations, and I'm like, oh, which one? Like, I just had no clue. But I was there, but I had just left. Probably, if I would have stayed probably 10 minutes longer, I would have saw it for myself.
Oh man.
But yeah.
But you got to walk the red carpet and everything, right?
Yeah, they it started off as one red carpet, and then they had like red carpet for like, I guess, like media purposes, and it does like a split. But yeah, you got to walk red carpet.
How was that? Was that like everything you dreamed of?
I don't even remember. It was just so like everything was just happening. Like my sister was talking to me about it. She was like, "Oh yeah, you didn't see these people or that people," and I'm like, "No, like." It was just like a blur. I think it was just so overwhelmed, but not in a bad way, with everything that was happening. Like,
Yeah.
because even it didn't even sink in, then
Yeah.
that we were there.
So you're
And I was
sitting, like, you're walking the red carpet. You're
Mhm.
sitting in this huge auditorium with, like, all these people who are, like, blessed to fulfill their dreams mainstream. And you were just, like, on cloud nine.
Yeah, I
Just
just
like, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have too much memories of that whole experience because it's usually someone says something and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I did see this.
I did get a Grammy.
Yeah.
Right. Hey.
But yeah, it was just what, next time, hopefully, there's next time. I think it's gonna be a next time.
There's gonna be a next time. I'm claiming that.
I'm gonna actually like just try to fully experience it and remember, things that were off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awesome experience. Who is out there that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Yeah, this question is always so weird for me because I don't have anyone in particular. But I am really interested in the future of music. Like, that next new artist. Someone who I love to work with people who are passionate about what they do. And they're not just doing it because it's a gimmick or, they're like, oh, like, I want to be famous. I love people who are passionate about music and creating, like, great content. So I'm excited to work with those people.
Okay. What are your inspirations and who are your inspirations?
Honestly, truthfully, I feel like my biggest inspiration in life, period, has always been my grandmother. Yeah, like just watching how she was or how she was with people is, especially like a few years ago, I started to realize like, wow, like this woman really is like a class act. Like,
Yeah.
So I would say my grandmother.
Okay. So, what are you working on now?
Well, we're currently working on on her debut album because the project she did was actually an EP, but yeah, so I'm working on that, and I'm also working with a few independent artists as well. I'm actually working with Kehlani.
My cuz.
But yeah, he's more so having me doing a mastering role. He does everything himself. I'm like, this guy, incredible.
He is a master of all trades.
Yeah, he's actually really good at
everything he
that
does.
Yes. I was just like, wow, I'm like impressed. Also, I'm working with this artist named Rick the Writer. He's from Rockland.
Rockland Rick. Yeah.
My homie from Brooklyn, J Dollars.
Okay.
Who else? I got a homie from, I think he's from the Bronx, but I'm not sure. My homie Leek. His name's Malik. I'm working with him a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What kind of albums are these?
Well, Rick, Jelani, and J Dollars are all hip hop, but Malik is actually a singer, so he kind of does like inspirational, I guess, R&B like music.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite genre of music?
R&B.
Okay.
I grew up on R&B.
Okay.
Yeah, R&B and soul.
What was the period of music that kind of really just kind of drew you in? Like your favorite period or periods of music?
Probably 90s R&B. For sure. And 90s R&B was like currently like what hip hop is right now. It was just all over the radio.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't turn it to any radio station without hearing a Babyface record.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah.
It was just like something that he had his hand in, like you were gonna hear. Yeah.
What do you feel about or how do you feel about the direction that music is taking? Because I do feel like it's kind of like we're hearing more of that 90s flavor because everyone loves that 90s flavor, but that's not where it is like completely. Like, how do you feel about the other areas of music right now?
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, this whole little fusion of like music, like, cause it's just like you'll hear different inspirations of different genres within one song, and I think it's actually cool that people are taking things that inspire them from other music and putting it in
Right.
something that represents them or describes how they're feeling at the moment. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still working with your cousin on music? Because that's how you like really decided to like dip your toe in the water.
That's a great question. You know what? By the time I started going to school, he kind of stopped.
So he got you into it, and he was like, "I don't do this no more."
Yeah, maybe God used him as like a vessel or something. To
He
guide
was your
me.
vessel
Yeah.
into the wilderness.
Right. I mean, we did work on something like a month ago. Well, yeah, it was probably like a little bit after my birthday.
Okay.
And just messing around, and he was talking about how he was inspired to start doing it again. So who knows? We'll see. But
Okay.
I have not really worked with him probably since 2012. Something like
Jeez,
that.
that's a
Yeah,
long
he
time.
boxes now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cuz. So I know you have like a couple of you're working on, these independent albums. You're working on hers. No, not hers. You're working on hers debut album. There we go. It feels weird like saying like putting
Yeah.
like the possession on
Yeah.
her.
I know.
But you're working on her debut album. But what else do you have, pushing off? I know you got something coming up in like a week or so.
Oh yeah. I do an annual beat battle called Clash of the Beatmakers.
Okay.
Um, this year's show is, I always try to do it the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so this year it falls on November 26th, so come out.
Come out. Be there.
If you're watching, come out.
Where's it gonna be at?
It's going to be at Levity Live
Okay.
in the Palisade Center on the 4th floor between Target and Chipotle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Between Target and Chipotle, November 26th.
November 26th at 6:30 p.m. Doors open.
Okay. All right. So who do we contact to get tickets?
You can contact me. You could also go on Instagram, Clash of the Beatmakers, at Clash of the Beatmakers. Email clashofthebeatmakers at gmail.com or Yanni at clashofthebeatmakers.com, whichever.
Okay.
Yeah, there's ways to get tickets. My homeboy Rick is selling them at Sprint in NUX.
I saw he put up a little post about,
Yeah.
with the tickets on there. I saw that.
I was pretty low key about it for a few years. I think maybe last year I started letting people know, like, this is my event
Okay.
that I do.
So how long have you been doing Clash of the Beatmakers?
This is going to be the 5th anniversary, so 5 years.
So you've been like holding your tongue on this for 5 years.
Well, yeah, I kind of just been like, oh, you should do this beat battle. It's cool.
Okay.
I didn't want people to do it because it was me or,
Because you want a Grammy.
Well, no.
Because you fancy.
After.
Still, you can still use that though.
Yeah.
You use it now.
I'm pretty sure it was used to sell tickets on Levity site, so.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. What was the inspiration behind creating this event?
Well, boom.
So boom.
Yeah, right? It started off the internship I was telling you about at our studios. Eventually, as time progressed, I became like an assistant engineer over there, and I kind of managed like the interns, and I was trying to figure out what they wanted to do, see if I could, help them grow in whatever, career path they chose. And usually in internships, well, in the past, most people that did them wanted to be engineers, but all of them wanted to be producers.
Right.
I'm like, so none of y'all really want to be engineers? And I'm thinking, like, I can't really help you because I don't really produce like that.
Yeah. So
what I did was, there were 2 of them specifically. Every week we would come with a new beat and I would do it with them. So it got me into, like, learning and, well, I know how to use a DAW and all that stuff to create a beat, but actually, honing like your skill set, like whether it's playing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it actually got me into doing it because I was trying to help them, and we would sit there, and every week it was like you had to do something, like, you know, just to get better, and we would like critique each other and stuff like that. And somewhere along the lines, my friend Kenny, aka Sly Pro, he was just like, "Yeah, you should do a beat battle," and I was just talking about how, yeah, I should, and it was just an idea. And then later on at the studio, like the administrative staff hosted a beat battle, and I saw how it turned out, and it inspired me to actually go forth with it. And I wanted to do it in Rockland because, you know, you always have to go over the bridge or into the city for events like this. So I wanted to do something and bring, you know, people, you know, industry people to Rockland County.
That's what's
And
up.
it started off as an idea, and he would, like Kenny, he would hang up little notes in the studio, and like, you know, Yanni's beat battle coming soon, and, you know, eventually after that one that we did, and I actually participated in it, I saw like, oh, this is really cool, and it inspired me to do it in Rockland.
How many artists or producers, recording engineers do you have participating in this event?
Well, they're all producers, and it's tournament style, so the event itself only allows for 16.
Okay.
Because anything less or more than that, it would be, like, weird.
Okay.
So, yeah, 16 producers all competing for a $1,000 cash prize.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. So for next year, right? For the people at home who want to participate next year, how do they become a participant?
Well, you just go to clashofthebeatmakers.com, go to the contact form, put your name and all the info asked for, and in the message box, just express what you want, and I'll get back to you.
Okay. So, do you have any gems that you want to leave to anyone at home, anyone who's aspiring to get into music, to be a recording engineer, or just in general?
I guess these things could be applied strictly towards the music industry or just in general, but don't be scared to take risks. Be diligent, persistent, meticulous, and yeah, don't let anyone get in your head. Mostly every obstacle that you will come across will be, if it stops you, it's because it stopped you mentally before it was anybody else's action. So
yeah,
I guess those are my gems. I'll probably think about later, oh, I should have said this. But those are my
So we'll
gems.
add those to the next interview.
Yeah.
After you get your next Grammy.
Hey.
We just gonna put that out there in the
I
atmosphere.
receive it.
Yes. Tell my friends at home, what's your social media?
Okay, so my social media for my personal accounts is literally Yanni Appleseeds for like everything.
Okay.
That's YANNI APPLESEEDZ.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same for my PayPals and Cash Apps too. If y'all want to.
So in case you want to drop a little donation, I like how you just kind of sprinkled that in next to Cash App and the PayPal.
Nah, but all jokes aside, that is my social media for that. And for Clash of the Beatmakers, the Instagram account is at Clash of the Beatmakers. Twitter is COTB_showcase. And Facebook is Clash of the Beatmakers.
Well, I guess that's our time. Make sure you follow my girl Yanni Appleseeds on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook. Make sure you follow her company, Clash of the Beatmakers, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you're not already following me, follow me on Instagram, Ebonée Forever, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already at Ms. Ebonée Online. And until next time, y'all, stay fabulous. Peace.